Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Katarina and today we'll go through a really lovely quick body opening morning flow. So really nice to do first thing in the morning, will really get you nicely set up for the day. I've got my online yoga membership called WELCOMETOOLLA Yoga Collective, which I've just very recently launched. So I reserve a little bit of the longer practices there. So if you're interested in practicing with me, full-length classes, 45 to 60-minute classes. We'll also have lots of meditation, pranayama, other kind of life, society, yoga, wellness-related topics on there. It's a really beautiful space. Please join me there. On the day of uploading this video, I've still got my launch discount. I've got really amazing discounts for the 6 months, 12 months as well. So I'll link all that below so you can have a look. But anyway, let's get into the practice for today. We're going to start in a child's pose. So you can bring your knees towards the long edges of the mat, guide your fingertips towards the top of the mat, and then just release your spine, your belly, chest over the legs for a moment. Finding a little bit of kind of grounding here to start with. Can you rest your forehead on the mat? Can you start to release through the low back? And also start to really become conscious and aware of your breath in this moment. Maybe you naturally start to draw slightly deeper inhales and exhales. Really feeling the lungs, maybe taking some of the biggest inhales and exhales of this morning so far. Really creating space in the rib cages, in the chest, maybe all the way to the tummy. Take one more really, really big breath here in your child's pose. And then you can open the mouth, sigh the air out. Pushing onto hands and knees, we're going to bring the hands just under the shoulders, knees under the hips, and simply start with some cat-cow. So dropping the belly, the chest as you lift your gaze, pull the shoulders back. Exhale, round the spine, chin to chest. And then inhale, drop the belly, open the heart, gaze up as well. Exhale, round. We'll do that once more, really allowing this to feel good in the spine, creating fluidity. There's often a little bit of stuckness along the spine when we first wake up. Then find a neutral spine. We're going to keep our left hand on the mat. Can you reach your right arm up? Open the chest towards the right. Can you bring more weight onto the left knee here? Opening the right fingertips a little bit higher up as you take another inhale. And then exhale, dive your right shoulder onto the mat. Maybe the left arm, the left fingertips extend towards the top of the mat. Coming into a thread the needle pose. It's a bit of a gentle twist for the spine. You can press the left fingertips or the palm down to find a bigger twist here. Inhale here to fill the lungs. And then bring your left hand close to the face again, push up, and bring your right hand down as well. Then inhale, reach your left arm up, open up through the chest. Stay here for the exhale and bring more weight onto your right knee. Take another inhale to lengthen, open up even more. As you exhale, dive down, left shoulder onto the mat this time. Really resting your head on the mat as well, and maybe you extend your right fingertips towards the top of the mat. Perhaps press that palm down for more of a twist. Good. Take an inhale. And then exhale. Bring your hand back in. Push down. Both hands onto the mat. Now tucking your toes under. We're going to lift the hips up into a downward facing dog. And we take a few breaths here. Finding a little bit of space along the spine, in the backs of the legs. So maybe you bend one knee after the other. Pressing the mat away from you. So firmly, both palms pressing against the mat. Shoulders are strong. Can you guide your belly button towards the thighs to reach the hips a little bit higher up?
Now pausing in your downward facing dog for a breath. Take a full one in. And then exhale it out. Then reaching your right leg up behind you. Can you bend the knee, open the hip? And now take a few hip circles here with the knee. So drawing a big circle in the air with the knee. And then switch direction. And keep pressing both hands evenly in towards the mat. And then with your next inhale, lengthen the right leg back behind you again. As you exhale, draw the knee in towards the chest. Step it forward between the hands. The left knee grounds down. And we inhale, come into an Anjaneyasana. So the weight of the upper body now drops over the hips. So the hips might drop a little bit lower as well. Finding an opening in the left hip flexor. Take an inhale, lengthen. Then cactus your arms as you exhale. Open the chest. The elbows drop down towards the back corners of the mat. Inhale here. And then exhale, the hands drop down. The left hand grounds onto the mat. You might want to open your right toe slightly towards the right side of the mat. And then guide your right arm back. Maybe you start to bend the left knee and grab the foot behind you. If you've got the grip, really roll the right shoulder open. And even if you haven't got the grip, you can kind of stay here. So you get that lengthening in the front body. You get the opening in the right shoulder, even if you can't reach the foot. Good. Inhale. As you exhale, bring your right hand back so that now both hands are on the inside of the right foot. You can either keep the left knee on the mat or lift it up, coming into a lizard. Maybe swaying back and forth, or if you've got your knee down, you can sway kind of side to side here, finding any sweet spots for the hips. Maybe the left hip flexor, maybe the right inner thigh. You can also come down onto the forearm. See how all these variations feel. Good. Take one more cycle of breath in your lizard. Then we lift the left knee off the mat, if it was still grounded on the mat, and we kick off of it to come into a malasana at the top of the mat. So both toes slightly pointing out. The elbows come to the insides of the knees, and we find length in the spine. Hands come to heart center, elbows pressing the knees away from the center line. Good. Take an inhale here, lengthen the spine, pull the shoulders back. And then can you drop your peace sign fingers into the big toes and exhale, fold over from here. And then inhale, drop back into your malasana, still holding onto the toes if that feels okay for you. Exhale, fold over. We do that once more. Inhale. And exhale. Good. You can then release the toes. You can heel toe your feet closer to each other. Lengthen the spine as you inhale. And then fold over as you exhale. We'll do that once more. Really allow this to feel good in the spine. Inhale, lengthen. Maybe the hands come all the way onto the shins. Spine is long. Exhale, fold over. Then stepping into a plank pose. We'll go through a vinyasa. You can bring your knees down or keep them lifted. Come all the way onto the mat or halfway. Upward facing dog or cobra. And we all meet in our downward facing dog. Good. And from there, we're ready to move to the other side. So the left leg lifts up. We bend the knee, open the hip, and then draw those big circles with your left knee. Switching directions. Also shifting the left shoulder down to find length and kind of a squaring in the shoulders. And then with your next inhale, lengthen the left leg out. Hug the knee in as you exhale and step it forward between the hands. The right knee grounds down. And we inhale, coming into our Anjaneyasana. Take an inhale here. And exhale, maybe drop a little bit deeper. Take one more inhale, allow the right hip flexor to really lengthen. And then the hands drop down,
right hand stays on the mat, you can open the left toes out a little bit. Start to guide your left arm back. The fingertips move towards the right foot. The right knee bends. So again, if you can't reach the foot, that's completely fine. Also, if you happen to have a strap, of course, you can use that. Rolling the left shoulder open. Maybe gaze over it. Take an inhale here. And then release the foot. Bring both hands to the inside of the left foot. If you want to, you can now lift the right knee off the mat. Maybe sway back and forth as you come into a lizard. Or you can keep the knee on the mat and see how it feels to perhaps sway from side to side. Might feel quite good for the hips. Also, feel free to come onto your forearms if it's there for you. Remember to stay really, really present with your own body in this pose, as it's quite a big hip opener for a lot of people. We then lift the right knee off the mat if it's not already and step forward into that malasana. Hands come to heart center, elbows pushing the knees away from each other. Spine is long. Can you take an inhale here? And then drop your hands, your peace sign fingers into the big toes and exhale, fold over. Inhale, drop back down, open up through the chest and exhale, fold. We'll do that once more. Inhale and exhale. Good. And then move your toes, your feet a little bit closer to each other. And take a big inhale, lengthen the spine, lift halfway. Exhale, fold over. Place your hands onto the mat. You can step into a plank pose and move through one more vinyasa. Knees down or lifted, up to you. Upward facing dog or cobra. And a downward facing dog from here. We all meet there. Taking a breath in and out. You can then release your knees onto the mat. We're going to keep the hips just over the knees. And from here, walk your hands towards the top corners of the mat. Release your chest down, pressing the palms down, pressing the forearms down. Maybe your forehead rests on the mat. Or if you're feeling quite mobile in the neck, you can also lift your gaze up, the chin rests on the mat. Allow the chest to grow heavier, allow it to press against the mat. Take a full cycle of breath here. And out. And then you can start to walk your hands back closer to the body and simply sit down over the heels, resting your hands on your lap. Can you arrive into stillness here? Maybe close the eyes. As we come to the end of this mini practice, this quick morning body opener, can you come into stillness without fidgeting? Without fixing anything, just simply being and feeling whatever is moving through the body right now. Even with such short, small, quick movement, you can make such a big impact in how you enter your day. When you take time for yourself, when you really care for yourself and let yourself know that you matter through different practices, through movement, through taking time for yourself, it really matters, and it creates a ripple effect into our whole day. Often making us calmer, often making us happier, often making us appreciate ourselves more. And with that, can you bring your hands to heart center, expressing gratitude to yourself for taking time for this morning moment, and then bow your head towards your hands. Thank you. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I really hope you enjoyed that one. Like I said, if you would like to practice with me more, I've got my platform and all the links below. I'm still posting here on YouTube as well, but like I said, slightly shorter practices like this one, which are really lovely as well. But if you want something more, something that goes a little bit deeper, please join me on the Olla Yoga Collective. The links are below. I wish you a really lovely day ahead. Thank you.